That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Hey guys, welcome back to Alexander Bitar History. My name is Alexander Bitar, and if you haven't seen our previous episodes, please do. Today we will showcase a small yet incredibly magnificent collection of US presidential bill signing pens. As of today, when we record this, we have Joe Biden as the president-elect. However, who knows how the turnout will be. Something we do know for a fact is that the most important role of a president is to make decisions. And to make decisions, they often have to sign their name with a pen, which leads us to the subject of today, pens. As you can see, we have 4 beautiful pens, or writing instruments as the connoisseurs like to call them. And let's begin in chronological order. This pen was personally owned and used by Dwight D. Eisenhower. Eisenhower was the 34th president of the United States, serving from 1953 to 1961. And even though this is like 60, 70 years old, it looks very futuristic with the big translucent part at the end. The most significant part of the pen is, though, the inscription which reads, "The President, the White House." So this pen, made by Easterbrook, was ordered by Eisenhower for the Oval Office to sign bills and legislations. Notably, this is a so-called fountain pen, which you can see on the nib. It's not a normal ballpoint pen as you probably have at home. So this is a very elegant piece which fits for a president. Another very nice feature is that this is something you can actually use, which I personally think is incredible. I mean, to have these important historical artifacts, not only to frame and present, but also to use them, that's something else. I'd say that the main difference with the John F. Kennedy pen is that the backside is more pointy, whilst the Eisenhower pen is more round. JFK did order a very special pen in the autumn of 1963, which is this one. And here you see a very clear difference. Again, the inscription is the same. We have it, the President and the White House. But completely different makers. We have on one side Easterbrook and on the other side Parker. So 2 incredibly iconic US pen makers. For me personally, this Parker pen is by far the most beautiful. I love the black touch to it with the steel nib and the steel details. And we also have a case for it, which is quite nice in my opinion. So you can close it like this or open it when you will write something. However, there's one very interesting detail with this Parker pen, and that is that John F. Kennedy, as you know, was shot dead on November 22, 1963 in Dallas. So it's not known if he had the time to actually use this pen. The only thing we do know is that he ordered them custom made to the White House in the autumn of 1963. With that said, let's go to the last one, and this pen is something else, because the provenance is not only connected to a US president, but also to one of the greatest icons of all time. This pen is a bit more modern. It's not a fountain pen like these 3, but this is a normal ballpoint pen. And that is something you can see when I open it up. It also has a different inscription. We have the signature of Bill Clinton reading William Clinton, which is his full name. And we also have the seal of the President of the United States. So, a very beautiful modern piece, black and gold-ish, and again, as I said, the provenance is super iconic in this case because it has a document which looks like this. As you can see, this document was signed by Bill Clinton in 1997 and addressed to Frank Sinatra in his Beverly Hills office. So let me just read a small part of the letter. Dear Frank, I was honored to sign into law the legislation authorizing the award of a Congressional Gold Medal to you. So Frank Sinatra received this incredible award by Bill Clinton in 1997. In the letter, Bill writes that he sends this pen along with the letter, meaning that this was the one that Bill Clinton used to sign the legislation to award Frank Sinatra this prestigious award. And by now, I'm sure that a few of you still think that what's the big deal? These are just pens. And let me tell you one thing. The most important human being on earth, the most powerful human being on earth is the President of the United States. And why is that? Well, it's because of the fact that the President is in a position to make decisions that will change people's lives, not only in the US, but worldwide. And to make those changes, the President has to sign a bill or a legislation of some kind. And to sign a bill, you need this. This is what you need. Without the pen, there's no bill. Without the bill, there's no change. So arguably, this is something much more than just a pen. This is something that changed the world 60 years ago in the hands of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And today, it's in the hands of this guy. And that's really the beauty and the uniqueness of my business. To have the opportunity not only to invest in history, but also to own a piece of game-changing history, something that have changed the world. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment, you know what to do. And until next time, take care.